All right, I've been sick the last few days, but I'm going to make a video anyway because it is the weekend portfolio update. So the markets have come down. Actually, I'm still looking at Nvidia here. Look at this little support it's got here. We could flush that and maybe move lower. So the markets have come down, but they have quite a lot of support on the way down because they've moved up so much. I think it's pretty obvious. You can see not just the horizontals, but obvious ascending ones. So again, it's still up for debate how relevant the markets are for the miners. Yields in the dollar should be more relevant, but honestly, they've just sort of grinded sideways the last couple of weeks. And, sometimes I see these headlines, dollar up, gold down. Not really, dollar's been down. Yes, we moved back up. We had this sort of fake flush out. I don't see the dollar really impacting gold, to be honest. But let's look at gold, which has come down also a little bit with the markets, you could say. That's why I looked at the markets initially. So gold, we had this move up. Maybe you could say a bit of resistance here, 2480, because of this ascending resistance, which I rarely pick out, but it looks like it played a role here. Maybe it was just coincidence. Otherwise, it was 2450. So I'll leave that one in just for one extra cross, see if it's relevant. Maybe it is 2450, could be resistance if we move back up. But look at this ascending support, could be also this area 2390. Remember, we took that out and ran. So I think we're kind of reaching a bit of a support zone. Maybe that's why it bounced. So I'm going to leave these two, the ascending and the horizontal. But gold came down quite a bit, actually. If you take from the high all the way down, 3.5% is quite a lot in 3 days. Like 1%, over 1% down a day is quite a bit. But it's still very healthy, very bullish. It would have been better if it kept going, actually. But this is not all of a sudden bearish. Huh? This is quite good. And actually, I'm gonna try and justify what I'm about to say, but I love what happened because I'm looking at it from the miner's point of view, ratio wise. Like, look at silver, came all the way down again. Again, weaker than gold on the way down. 3150 is resistance, all the way down back to what should be support, 29, just below 29. You could say even 2850. Let's just zoom out. That's what we've got. The ascending is gone, by the way. If you're trying to look for some ascending support, that's gone as of Friday. So we just keep it simple with the horizontals. So silver should move back up. I don't know if the markets or the dollar or yields will have an impact, but you know what? I don't mind too much silver just sort of not breaking out because I'm fully in the miners. I'm trying to trim. I did trim recently, but not enough as usual. But if we look at the miners, GDXJ, that's pretty good. I mean, it's come down also, but remember, gold came down over 3%. Okay, that's quite a bit, but that's expected. SILJ, and look at this Friday, by the way, right? Friday, we're down. Look at SILJ, down not even 2%, while silver's down, I don't know, 2.5 or something. So the miners outperformed the metals on Friday. Let's look at GDX. And by the way, we hit support. I didn't even draw this line. This has been in for some time. You can see why. This one I can delete. It's now not relevant. But let's look at GDX. That's pretty good. Remember, silver's all the way down here, right? Silver, I know we're looking at GDX and not SILJ or anything, but silver's sort of there. And here we've got GDX up here. That's just, new high, retest, up we go. You wouldn't expect gold to have done what it's done when you're looking at GDX. So I don't mind, especially the way we close on the Friday. That's, we started at low of day and we just went up. We kind of we started at support, I would say. So for me, the miners all the way up here, and remember where gold is still looking quite bullish. Silver, okay, I'll give you that. It's all the way back down there. But if you're playing the miners like I am, for example, let's just do SILJ versus silver. I rarely do this, but zoom out. Look where we are. It's kind of breakout zone, whether we go up or down, but preferably up. If we start to move up with silver, silver should bounce, or the miners keep going up, we should start taking out this and start running and basically start to further outperform. We could do something similar maybe with let's do GDX versus gold. And gold hasn't come down that much, but look, I've drawn it before. Descending breakout horizontal. Look at that close on Friday. That Friday candle really made the miners look relatively strong against the metals. So I I would prefer if it was up, I won't lie, because I'm very heavy. But when I see the miners having a day like Friday, I think don't mind more of that. So, all right, let's look at the actual individual miners within my portfolio. So Newmont looks very similar to GDX, which makes sense. Look at that, down 1%. Newmont down 1%. You got silver down like 2.5%, gold down 2%. What an amazing day. Again, we took out this level here, 46, went all the way to 49, where I trimmed, by the way, and back down we go to support. Now, next stop, 50. But look, to take out 49, you do need, you know, my plan is when gold and silver move back up and hit their resistance, I will trim my miners. I think my miners will make new highs. But still, it's kind of asking a lot for miners to make new highs. But, you know, if, all right, let's go back to gold. Let's show you what I mean. Gold, let's keep it simple. So where would gold hit resistance? Well, maybe 2450, definitely 2480, probably just before. But let's say at 2450, things are probably looking good. For gold, they'd look good. But 2450 and 2480, I would trim my miners, and I expect my miners to be making new highs, or at least to be at their highs at 2450. So I'm going to trim my miners based on the resistance of gold and silver. So silver, because it's come down so much, definitely going to hit resistance if we, you know, if we venture up here, probably maybe 3050, definitely 3150. There I would trim my miners because I can't just see silver going all the way up past these two levels. Anyway, back to the back to the portfolio. So Newmont, you know, very nice. Back test here, 46. Let's see if we can go back up. If we go lower, it's probably time to take the moves lower a little more seriously. Probably here, not because of this, but because of this, let's be honest. And if we move low, we've got this ascending, which probably coincides with this. I don't see those levels getting, maybe this one here, but it's had such a strong close that to take this out would be, you'd need really a big move down in the metals, I think. So I think Newmont, and of course the old high up here, 49. Those are the levels, very simple. Yep. Barrick Gold. All right, came down, maybe you could say lower than Newmont. Retest this level, makes sense. Opens, a lot of them did that. They opened at their individual support and closed pretty much high up day, not necessarily at resistance. So next up, 19. Would I trim at 19? Normally I've already trimmed at 19. No, I won't. Like I said, I'll judge based on gold and silver. Then of course, I don't want to add more lines, but the old high needs to be respected. There you go. Remember, this is a massive breakout zone. So although that was nice, you need that extra confirmation. And for me, it's always taking out the next horizontal 20, a close above 20, and this thing can start moving. If we move lower, maybe, I think a back test if this is asking too much. Maybe here, 1750. I'm not going to draw it in though. Next one, Agnico-Eagle. Hit resistance. What's that line about? Okay, hit this, yeah. In fact, I would have expected it to open just on the 72, but Agnico-Eagle, as usual, is very, very strong. And I mean, look at that. How much until you hit your high? 3%. 3% is easy. You can do that any day. And think where silver is, for example. So the miners are definitely outperforming, especially some of them. And Agnico, I could trim another small amount when it hits its old high. Like Monday, we could just move up, bounce, because we've come down quite a lot, especially silver. So you could have the metals up 1.5%. Agnico will be testing 7650. Could do a little trim there if I need. Otherwise, next move up is what, 84 or higher. All right, Pan American Silver. Amazing example of one that opens on support. And here it hit resistance. This is perfect, actually. I didn't even notice this candle. So perfect. How much until, and think of where silver is, right? Okay, 7% is quite a lot. So you probably need one really strong day in silver, or maybe two, at which point silver will hit its resistance, but Pan America will be at its high resistance. So Pan America, I would say, is outperforming silver still. And it looks really bullish, this chart. It's just a shame that we've come down this extra level. But it makes sense because silver came down so much. So maybe a trim again next time it tests 24. I'm going to be jotting down all these levels because I do want to trim. It's me, I'm just too heavy in. I keep saying it, I keep trimming, and it's still too heavy because we keep going up. But now, just want to trim more because I feel like I've said now 2 or 3 times, gold and silver will bounce, but they will meet resistance, especially silver, and I'm going to use that to trim. And I think Pan America will hit its 24 level. So I just need to bring everything down a little bit and just calm down. SSRM, this one looks really good. It's a shame we lost this momentum. I felt like we could have closed above 6 and ran. But look, we took out this descending breakout, pretty significant. I've seen more significant moves, but it would have been better if it touched here more recently. So it's not the most ideal descending, but I feel like it did something here, sort of recognized it. So next resistance is the old high here. Got to respect that. Let's say 5.6, maybe 5.5. I should trim that because maybe silver then fades again. And SSRM will start looking like a horrible chart if we start to flush the low of Friday. So I've trimmed it already enough. Something for me to decide. But for me, the level's on the way up 5.6. Again, maybe 5.5, but 5.6 definitely. And then just under 6, 5.9, let's say. Support will be the back test of this. Next one, Wheaton. Pretty good now. Wheaton has, a bit like gold, it has this ascending resistance, which it kind of hit. I did trim into that 62. That was nice. But as usual, it's found support pretty close to its old high. So this will probably make new highs. If gold and silver bounce, this will be testing its old high, 63 actually now. So actually what I'll do is I'll remove this and just adapt the old high 63. How much of a move is that for Wheaton? I don't think it takes much to get 5%. Is quite a bit actually. A nice day in the metals, or maybe 2 mediocre days, and you're back up there. I don't think I need to trim Wheaton. I think it's at the medium level, so I think I'll hold what I've got. I trimmed already at 62. It didn't even retest its support. It's a bit like Agnico-Eagle, pretty strong. So, but look at this chart. It's not like we had horrible. You wouldn't expect silver, especially gold, to have had horrible days. And gold does look good, but silver doesn't look as good, that's for sure. And maybe silver will not be able to break to new highs, and it could ruin gold's momentum, and that could slowly affect the miners. I don't know, but I just think I'm going to take advantage of the retest of the old highs, maybe in every stock, including Wheaton, which is already medium. Something for me to decide. Franco Nevada, yeah, that wasn't as strong as Wheaton. A shame. It took out 130. Next day, big rejection. Come down again. That's not relevant. Yeah, we'll see. Well, 130 is again resistance, so I might trim at 130. Again, like Wheaton, this is already at a medium holding, so this is not an emergency, and it's nowhere near as high as Wheaton. It hasn't taken out its old highs, so maybe this I just hold what I've got and just let it play out. Support, yeah. I mean, if this isn't support, then all the way down here will be. I'm in no rush to buy anymore because my problem is I have too much. Metalla. Yes, this descending again, we didn't touch it, we were 1 millimeter away. So basically, again, it did its job. It's really taken out this descending and then running. So Metalla, I didn't sell this though, because I feel like it could do better. But I think I'm just gonna hold what I've got from Metalla. It's all about the descending. Support is simply the the horizontal, like 280 or just below. Burst Majestic, real disappointment, real disappointment. At least we had an okay day on Friday, but look at these 2 big drops. And Friday was a red day, of course, also, but it's all about the close and outperforming silver, right? Silver down 2.5%, First Majestic down not even 1. That's good, right? I mean, they all did it, but that's still for First Majestic, that's okay because it's been very poor. So this is one, and it's not worth that much because I have trimmed and because it's come down so much. So it's not an emergency to sell if we do even get all the way up to 6.8, which is where I think resistance is. But that's still over 10% away. So if silver, yeah, I think the silver stocks, I'm going to trim them, all of them, when silver gets to its, 31.5, and if it even gets to 32.5. So next time silver hits its resistance, I'm just going to, across the board, just trim 5 or 10% again. If we go higher, great, I make more money. If we go down, good, I sold. So that's First Majestic. Again, 6.8. Well, you can see the levels already. Support is the same. Wow, but if silver makes a move lower, we could talk about 5.2. And their First Majestic will really have annoyed me. But at least I'll probably buy some, and I think I can get out nicely of that if there's a bounce. Next one, Fortuna. Yep. So 5.4 was resistance, and support is 4.8. It's just playing this box constantly. I didn't buy anything on Friday, by the way. And I mean, I sold this move up, and I didn't, well, obviously I wouldn't have sold on Thursday because it just moved down, but I haven't bought anything this week, put it that way. So 4.8 all the way to 5.4. Next one, CDE looks good. Look at that. That's amazing. Why have we got that line? Why have we got that line there? Oh, yeah, because of support here and resistance there, of course. So perfect. Another one that just bounced low of day at 6 plus its psychological number. Look at that move. That's pretty good, actually. Didn't close near high of day, but still not bad. 8% to get up there. It still has a nice strong day. CDE can get to 6.8 again, at which point maybe, yeah, like I said, I'll trim everything across the board. So that's good. Next one, Hecla. Didn't really bounce on support, but it doesn't matter. Resistance is 6.3. Now, normally I would sell 6.3 because it can do it and it's an obvious kind of level and it's achievable, but I don't have enough in Hecla. I only bought that one tranche. I forgot where, around 5. So it's not worth enough for me to sell. That's just my own problem. But if we move lower, then I may finally get my second tranche. I don't think that will happen though, but Hecla looks very good. One move away from its old high. So again, outperforming silver, another one, very nice. EXK, that's nice. Open low of day, close near high of day. We're one move away, another one that's 9% away from move up. But silver, again, it has one big bounce in it, and you could get EXK, maybe not to 5, but, you know, to 4.8 or something, and that's good enough. It's the same thing. So still nice, strong uptrend. Remember, we came from 1.4, and here we are at 5. So very nice. Very nice. You know, these silver stocks versus silver, very nice. Mag Silver, not as good a chart. 14, I'm going to say 14 is resistance now. This is not, that's okay, actually. But again, one that could make its old high 6%. That's one good day. So another one, support. Is that really support? No, I'm going to leave the ascending. Probably is, but the ascending is probably better. I hope we don't fill that gap. Next one, Aris Mining. Yeah, this one came down quite a bit. So this one, I feel like it might have trouble getting all the way to 4.6. So I'm going to say 4.5. That's what I'm going to trim at 4.5. So close to getting to 4.8, which is very, very clear resistance to me also. Actually, yeah. But it's the same thing, right? 4.5, 4.8, very little difference. And that's, if you take out 4.8, you got a clear runway to 6.6. So I'm not going to trim everything. But I want to take out a little 10% here at 4.5. Support is otherwise around 3.8, just below. Next one, I am gold. Yeah, this one had troubles filling its gap. It makes sense. I think now you could say resistance is 4.3. And support maybe, yeah, well, 4, just below 4. There you go. So yeah, 3.9 to 4.3. I did trim this. I trimmed into the gap fill. So, but I think I'll trim again because I think it's asking too much to ask this to go all the way up there, especially with the resistance we expect on the metals. B2 gold. This one did its breakout descending, but sorry, you have to come down with the sector. Resistance has resistance 3, probably not anymore. Probably not. You know, I'm going to delete that. I'll leave the descending because it's so relevant, just to remind me of the story. But I think you could say, yeah, I think I would trim 3.15. And I think you can expect this one to bounce strong because of what it's just done. 7% move, one nice day in gold or 2 decent days it can get there. Although I don't think I would trim this because I think we got a bigger move coming, and I already trimmed the move to 3. So for me to check support, I mean, expect support everywhere here. Back test of this, definitely here and definitely there. But again, I don't think we need to consider that. Equinox, big move down. It's a shame because this one I thought would be relatively stronger than others. But well, there you go. You have to come down with the sector, but that's quite a big move down. I have to check. Actually, it's only 10%, kind of. And it wasn't the best bounce day after a big move down. Where's resistance? Well, probably here now, 6.15. Support, I don't see any clear support except the absolute lows, but it's not going to go all the way down there, so I understand why it's already bounced. Resistance, maybe 6 actually. It's asking quite a lot to go all the way from where it is now. Maybe between 6 and 6.15. Maybe I'll trim another small amount because again, it's not that Equinox can't do it, it's that the metals, silver may stutter a little bit, and that will cause issues for gold and therefore the miners. I don't know. I just feel like selling the move up again. I always do that if there's resistance. SBSW finally, it's just trading within its box. Obviously, we had a bad 2-3 days, but that could, if we have another move lower, SBSW, look at this. Resistance didn't make that move. So lower high. Who knows? We flush. I haven't bought or sold this in a long time, so I've just been waiting for it to really break out of this box either way. If it breaks lower, which I don't see happening right now, then I can finally make it into a decent position because it's not worth that much. All right, I'll leave it there. I got kids screaming in the background and I'm sick. I hope that was useful, enjoyable, and let's see what happens next week. But what I'm looking for is a nice bounce. And that's something that you can, in my opinion, sell into just in case silver in particular finds it too difficult to keep up the momentum. But otherwise, gold looks good and the miners look good, right? Gold retested 2,400, fine. I mean, we just made new highs. We just made new highs. Everything is bullish. All the stars are aligned. I mean, expecting it to just go back to 2,450, I can understand that. And it did on the first day, but we needed a bigger move down. The markets had an effect. The dollar and yields not so much, but I still think we're very bullish and gold could be making new highs even next week or maybe the week after. In which case, silver, let's be honest, which has been weak. If gold makes new highs, I'd expect silver to be above 31.50. And the next move is to 32.50, which happens the next day. So it still can turn around very well. All right. Thank you for watching.